Wat Phra Si Sanphet, the temple with no monks, and a lost golden Buddha. Imagine a temple with no monks living inside, but this place was once the most important temple in an entire kingdom. And right here, there used to be a giant Buddha statue covered in gold worth billions today. But then, everything disappeared. So what really happened to Wat Phra Si Sanphet? When people think of a temple, they usually imagine monks living inside, chanting, meditating, and guiding the community. But Wat Phra Si Sanphet was different, very different. There were no monks living here, not even one. No morning chants, no daily rituals like other temples in Thailand, because this place was never meant for ordinary people. Wat Phra Si Sanphet was built in the heart of the royal palace of the Ayutthaya Kingdom. It was a royal temple, used only by kings and the royal court. This was not a place for everyday worship. This was a place of power, a sacred ground where important ceremonies were held, where kings came to perform royal rituals, and where the spiritual and political worlds became one. In many ways, this temple was like the temple of the Emerald Buddha in Bangkok today, a place deeply connected to the monarchy. But unlike most temples you see across Thailand, this one had a clear purpose. Not to serve the people, but to serve the throne. And that's what makes Wat Phra Si Sanphet one of the most unique temples in Thai history. But this is just the beginning, because what once stood here would soon become one of the greatest losses in the history of Ayutthaya. At the height of the Ayutthaya Kingdom, Wat Phra Si Sanphet was more than just a temple. It was the spiritual center of an entire empire. Located inside the royal palace grounds, this place stood at the very core of power. Only kings, nobles, and members of the royal court were allowed to enter. Everything here was designed to reflect authority, order, and divine connection. And the most striking feature of this temple still stands today. 3 massive chedis, rising into the sky, like silent guardians of the past. Each one was built to hold the ashes of Ayutthaya's kings, not just as monuments, but as symbols of legacy. These structures weren't just architectural masterpieces. They were a reminder that the kingdom's rulers were believed to be connected to something greater. Standing in front of them today, you can still feel it. The scale, the symmetry, the silence. It's almost as if time stopped here, frozen at the moment before everything changed, because what once made this place the heart of an empire would soon make it a target, and when that moment came, nothing would ever be the same again. But the true treasure of Wat Phra Si Sanphet was not the chedis. It was something far more extraordinary. Right here, once stood a massive Buddha statue known as Phra Si Sanphet. It wasn't just large, it wasn't just beautiful, it was covered entirely in gold. Standing at around 16 meters tall, this statue dominated the temple grounds, a shining symbol of faith, wealth, and power. Imagine sunlight hitting its surface, reflecting gold in every direction. For the people of Ayutthaya, this wasn't just a religious figure, it was a statement, a message to the world that this kingdom was one of the richest and most powerful in Southeast Asia. Historians believe the amount of gold used was enormous. If it still existed today, it could be worth billions. But here's the mystery. This golden Buddha no longer exists. No one has ever seen it again in its original form. No museum, no hidden chamber, no trace of where it truly ended up. All we know is this. At some point in history, it was taken, destroyed, melted, or perhaps lost forever. And with it, a piece of Ayutthaya's soul disappeared. In 1767, everything changed. The Ayutthaya Kingdom, once one of the greatest empires in Southeast Asia, fell to invading forces. The city was attacked, burned, destroyed. What once stood as a center of power was reduced to ashes. Wat Phra Si Sanphet did not escape. The temple was looted, set on fire, and left in ruins. But what happened next was even more devastating. The great golden Buddha, the symbol of wealth and faith, was stripped of its gold, piece by piece. The surface was taken away, melted down, carried off, gone. What remained was only the core structure beneath, broken, blackened by fire, and eventually lost to time. In just a short moment in history, everything that made this place Aladim was taken. The power, the beauty, the treasure, all gone. Today, when you stand among these ruins, it's hard to imagine what once existed here. But if you listen closely, you might still feel the echoes of a kingdom that once stood proud, and a temple that lost everything. Today, all that remains of Wat Phra Si Sanphet are silent ruins. 3 towering chedis, weathered by time, standing where kings once ruled and ceremonies once shaped a kingdom. There is no gold left, no grand statue, no sign of the immense wealth that once defined this place. Only bricks, only fragments, only echoes of the past. And yet, this place still feels powerful. Because sometimes what's missing tells a greater story than what remains. Some believe the lost gold was completely taken, melted down and scattered across history. Others wonder if something might still be hidden, buried beneath the ground, lost in places no one has searched, or perhaps the real treasure was never the gold, but the story it left behind, a story of power, of belief, and of loss. Wat Phra Si Sanphet may no longer shine like it once did, but its mystery still remains, and maybe that's what makes it unforgettable. If you enjoyed this video, just smile. Welcome to Thailand.